carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, South Africa, and welcome to the Kruger National Park. We are here with the Djuma clan and some of their newest members. My name is Steve Falconbridge, and this is safariLIVE.
This is so exciting. We've managed to find the sausage tree pride.
Look at this last dash.
This is amazing.
Look at that incredible strength.
20 seconds.
Here come the cheetah. Unbelievable stuff. I'm just keeping my head on a swivel. You never know what's going to happen next in these situations.
Standing by.
Can you believe this?
Three, two, one. Live.
And welcome to my name is Henry, and as always, it's a huge pleasure to welcome you to the penultimate episode here. As always, in Africa, the Maasai Mara and western fringes of the National Park. We're sitting here at 12 Waterhole, and we're here for
Back to me. Welcome back, South Africa. I do apologize for any technical issues there. And we are currently here with the Djuma clan, who we found this morning by chance. A leopard led us into the sighting, and well, we have had so much fun over the last week. And as you know, you can keep in touch with us on hashtag safariLIVE. We'd love to hear from you. It is an interactive and live game drive safari, and we're coming to you live from two locations, one in the Maasai Mara, the Mara Triangle in Kenya, and two from here, the western fringes of the Kruger National Park. And as I said before, my name is Steve Falconbridge, and I'm joined by BK on camera. And well, it has been a wonderful week since you were last with us. Let's go and see what happened last week.
Last week on safariLIVE. In the Western Kruger, I hunted through the twilight woodland with little 15-month-old Princess Tlalamba and reflected on the tremendous privilege it has been to watch this magic cat from birth. Steve found himself witness to nature's most tear-jerking miracle, the first breaths and wobbly steps of a buffalo. While 2,500 kilometers to the north in the Maasai Mara, Brent was once again on point as the sausages turned their attention from migration fare to a feast of buffalo.
Welcome back, everybody. We have managed to, as I said, find the Djuma clan. BK, there's a second one popping up just on the left of this female here. These are two brand new youngsters we've never seen before. They are still probably about less than a month or so. Very, very dark in color. We might even be the first vehicle that they've seen. The Djuma clan was on Djuma for many, many months. They moved their den off of the property for some time, and this morning we were led to this den site by a leopard. And I'm thinking this must be Mum, because she's tolerating them an enormous amount. There are two of them, the standard litter size for a hyena female, and well, she has just turned into a jungle gym. Aren't they just the cutest little things? On the Djuma clan, we had Corky here not so long ago, who is in exactly the same place as this female, who I think is called June. I'm not 100% sure. I'm still trying to identify her, but they've switched places, and Corky's gone off, and now this female has taken place, and now the two youngsters have come out very bravely to inquisitive. So Donna, you want to know if the den sites get flea infested? They most certainly do. Fleas and ticks and all sorts of other parasites follow hyenas around, and obviously by being inside the hole there, not only the fleas and the ticks as well, but also any parasites they might have picked up from feeding, fly larvae and all those sort of things will definitely grow and multiply within a den site, and they can cause some harm to the youngsters in the early stages. It's one of the reasons why they move dens. That as well as the reason why here comes Plonk. Look how inquisitive this little individual is. He's coming right up to smell my shoe. Hello, Plonk. How are you doing? Well, it has been a very interesting week in the Sabi Sands, as we were discussing before. And, well, not for sensitive viewers, Tristan had something very interesting down at the Chitwa watering hole.
Well, welcome everybody to one of those scenes that can only be described as possibly the most traumatic thing that one could ever see and witness. We found a little baby hippo that was sitting on the bank of Chitwa Dam, and unfortunately it looks like it is severely injured. My name is Tristan, and we are coming to you from South Africa, and this particular little incident is not something we like to see at all. The mother has waded into the water, and the little baby has valiantly tried to scrape its way towards the water, and there's a bull hippo that is in tow that is constantly going towards that young hippo. Now, I'm concerned for the baby hippo because it doesn't seem to have the ability to use its legs correctly. Like I say, it dragged itself into the water, and if that's the case, then the possibility of it drowning is quite high. And so you can see Mom is just trying to position herself in order to try and kind of protect that baby as much as possible. But this other hippo that is wading in from there, that is the hippo that we've been seeing trying to go towards that baby all the time and kind of nose it and sort of bite at it. It doesn't look like a big territorial bull, which is why I'm a bit concerned. You can see the baby just went underwater there. It really is one of those seriously difficult things to watch. This poor little animal is clinging to life as much as it can, but the chances of it surviving are almost zero. When it stood up just now, its front legs unfortunately buckled underneath it, and its stomach, there's definitely something hanging off of that as well. So whether those are internal organs, it was difficult to make out. And just to the right of these hippos is two big crocodiles that are lying in wait. And crocodiles are very, very intelligent animals. They must have thought to themselves that there is potentially a meal that is around this area, and they're just sitting in wait.
Hello everybody, sorry about that initial glitch that we had there. I'm not sure entirely what happened, but here we are, as I said, at Chitwa Dam. I'm not sure if you heard me say that. A central feature of today's show. As you've seen, Tristan was witness to a very traumatizing event here, certainly for him, for the cameraman, and for anybody who've seen it with that little hippo there. And you've seen the first part of it. There are another two parts to that story, and it is quite harrowing, but it is very interesting from an animal behavior point of view as well, so that's great. We've got Crocky the Croc. He is also going to feature. I'm not sure why I've called him Crocky, but you'll find out, I suppose, a little bit earlier the first time, or a little bit later the first time I did call him Crocky. And then we also have an endangered bird, which is quite special, and it is a saddle-billed stork. Now, those are endangered, and it's great to spend a bit of time with them here at the waterhole. All is peace over here, which is wonderful, and all is peace a little bit to the north and west of where I'm sitting with Trishala and the Kakuma Pride.
Hello and good afternoon. I am so glad to be here driving you guys around on your very own live safari. I am Trishala, so excited to be out with you this evening, and I have the wonderful Kakuma Lions with me. Now, the one that you see there, of course, there are other vehicles in the sighting at the moment, and that's what you can see there, but what's lying down in front of them is one that is now an Kakuma male, we'd like to say, but he is actually a Mangeni male. And he is from another pride that's come along here, and he is recently been inducted into this Kakuma pride. The Kakuma pride, 5 adults, 5 sub-adults, and this guy here. Now, usually on Juma, which is the game reserve we're coming from at the moment, but at the moment they are on Little Gowrie, which is somewhere we can't really go much further into. So we're going to view them from here, which I think is good enough for now, as long as the light is still good. Now, this guy has got a really interesting story. Oh, here we have a tuft of hair here. Anyway, I will tell you more about the Mangeni male right after this. Grab something nice. Thank you to all you internet viewers that are still with us at the moment. This is quite nice to see the Mangeni male around the Nkuhumas still. And he's looking quite healthy. Which is always nice to see, and full. You guys know from the morning safari that we had them with the waterbuck. So they've all been eating quite well. Hopefully that means they're satiated for now and they won't have to spend too much time tonight trying to hunt more animals. Very nice. Well done. You're doing so well, Mangeni male. You're looking much healthier. Just can't wait for the hairs on your tail to start growing back. Looks like a worm on the ground. It's a very nice night tonight. It's nice and warm, and you know I'm usually feeling cold. But today, I'm pretty happy with this weather. Still very hot, like I said, but you know me, I like it when it's hot. Now there's another lion drinking out the side here. I'm really hoping that they'll come into Juma's property so we can get a nice closer look of them for the TV show. Geez, they really look satisfied today, hanging around by the water holes, drinking and chilling. I think I'd be doing the same if I was a lion who was full from my waterbuck kill. Look at that, it's like she's hiding. Very cute. Now look at her tuft of hair at the end of her tail. Oh, getting a good drink there. And they've been here for quite some time. From the whole morning, so I think they're going to stay put mostly. Welcome back, everybody. We are still here with the lions, and we have one lion that seems to be hiding from us, but her little tuft of hair is sticking out. How cute is that? Well, I hope you guys are satisfied. You've got yourself something to drink and you're ready for tonight's program. It's action-packed. We have the lions, of course, and I'm very, very glad to see them. Now, I wanted to tell you a bit about the pride and the pride dynamics, and of course, the Mangeni male, who is the one that is lying in the middle of the road. Now this one, there's actually a pan right here. So these guys are sitting around here. They had a waterbuck kill in the morning. So they're quite full. They've eaten a lot, and now they're just hanging about here where there's water and they can easily drink and rest. It's almost like a day off for them. I think they're quite satisfied with their kill. Their bellies are really rotund at the moment. So I think they're quite excited to have the night off today. We said they looked like they were using Juma as a gym today. They were going up and down, and eventually we found them with the waterbuck carcass. Oh, hello. You lifting your head up? So we are in the flare now, which is the thermal camera, as you can see. And you can see a purple cat with yellow bits on it, and that just tells you how hot she is at the moment. And you can see her panting, expending all that heat that she's gathered through the very hot day today at Juma. Well, oh, bless you. I'm gonna sit with them for a little longer. In the meantime, let's catch up with Scott, who had some very special moments with some cheetah not too long ago.
Welcome, everyone. You wouldn't believe how good your timing is. This cheetah has just started chasing this young wildebeest, and I think its days are over. Oh, it just missed. There are 4 more cheetah nearby as well. I'm sure they're going to get involved as well. Oh, it got it. Whew. Well, you couldn't have joined at a faster time, and it's not over yet. This cheetah's still got its work cut out, and this wildebeest is not giving up a fight. There's a whole herd of zebra that also could come in and try and protect this wildebeest. It was stranded and alone. It didn't have a mother. It was all on its own. No other wildebeest in sight. And it seems like the other 4 cheetah are closing in faster than the zebra, and I'm afraid that it is over for this young wildebeest. Whew. We are coming to you from the Maasai Mara in Kenya, and the timing could not have been better for you to join us and enjoy this action, to see the world's fastest land mammal doing its business, and to be honest, probably putting this young gnu out of its misery. Like I said, it was all stranded and alone. So if this is difficult for any of you, it is important to remember that everything out here happens for a reason. Of course, these 5 hungry cheetah need to eat. And like I say, this wildebeest was stranded and alone.
Look at this stroke of luck we've had here. Welcome back live, everybody. You couldn't have scripted this. This is Guchava. And to those of you who haven't met her before, she is, of course, daughter of Queen Tandi, sister, much older sister, of Princess Tlalamba, and she lives very close, obviously, to Chitwa Waterhole, where we've just left. We heard some guinea fowl alarm calling, and then some very kind soul said, "Oh, I've just found a leopard in a tree," and he called us in, and here we are, sitting with Guchava, the female leopard. Is she not magnificent? What a stroke of luck that was. She's just over 3 years old, almost 4, and she's about, I think she's about to start mating again. We think she's lost some cubs recently. Anyway, Minamu, obviously you are well aware that it's quite hot here today. It probably pushed about 35 degrees or so eventually during the middle of the day. Look at that. And you're wondering if furry mammals get sunburned. No, I'm going to say they probably don't. Sunburn, of course, is avoided by melanin in the skin and any covering that you have on the skin. So in the case of a mammal like this, it has got a very good covering on the skin. But if you've ever had a dog that's got very short white hair and pink skin under that white hair, you'll know that that skin does get sunburned from time to time. A leopard skin underneath that fur is a greyish colour. It has got quite a lot of melanin in it, and so no, it's very adapted to living in sunny conditions, and it will not get sunburn. Guchava, whose name means afraid, it is not in the slightest bit afraid, which is marvellous. Now, she's looking down towards Chitwa Waterhole, where we might go a little bit later, but I think we're going to stay with this leopard for as long as possible. You saw the first instalment of Tristan's harrowing hippo sighting. We're going to show you the second instalment now, and I must warn you, this is not for sensitive viewers, so if you are a sensitive viewer, please just perhaps don't watch, or just watch like this. Have a look.
Oh, look, there we go. Look, that's where the baby is. That's where it is. Oh, I hope it didn't get grabbed. There's definitely another hippo that went in there. You can hear the other hippos are disturbed. There's lots of commotion. Oh, there, it's got it in its mouth. Oh, no. That's not good. That hippo, unfortunately, is killing that little baby. There's mom trying to defend it. Oh, no. Now, if you are a sensitive viewer, this is probably a good time to stop watching. That male hippo has got that baby in its mouth and will kill it now, unfortunately. It's going to bite it, and with those huge teeth, there's going to be a lot of damage, and that poor hippo, I'm afraid, is probably not going to survive at all. Oh, no. The poor thing. But that's it, I'm afraid. You can see the mom is trying valiantly, but she's just not as powerful as a bull hippo of that size, even though that's not a big bull hippo. Unfortunately, that's it. You can see that baby is being flung around. Oh no, now there's other hippos getting involved, the commotion. Wow. Now, I've seen this before at Cheetah Dam. This is not the first time I've seen an incident like this. It's happened a few times, but it never gets easier to watch something like this. That poor baby. I'm just not speaking because I'm wanting you to hear all of the commotion and splashing. Oh, it's still alive. Did you see that? It's been let go again. It just popped up with its ears.
Welcome back, everybody. Like I say, a very harrowing sighting that you were witness to there. And I think for me, one of the things that is so profoundly wonderful about the wilderness is the contradictions. We have this utterly peaceful creature lying in a tree here. Obviously, she's capable of the most tremendous ferocity. And then at the other end of the spectrum, you have horrendous savagery like you witnessed there with Tristan and that hippo. Now, he made mention of what he thought was going on there. And, you know, infanticide is a very common thing in mammals. And it's not unusual. Jane, you're asking why a hippo would do that. One of the reasons that male mammals do kill youngsters is because they're not related, and it often then brings the females back into season or into estrus, and they can then sire their own offspring. It happens with leopards, it happens with lions, it happens with chimpanzees, and in fact it probably happened quite a lot with our human ancestors and indeed with early human beings. So it's not unusual in the mammal kingdom. What is unusual about the sighting we've just witnessed there is that that bull who was perpetrating the crime, if you like, was in no position to be mating with the female, because as you saw a big bull coming in there, there's no ways that a young bull like that was going to be able to mate with the mother of that calf. So why that happened is really a bit of a conundrum, and I suppose one of those mysteries of the bush that we'll be able to sort of think about and put forward various theories for, but it's highly unlikely we'll ever absolutely know the answer. And as you can see, Kuchava doesn't know the answer either. She is thinking profoundly on these matters as she looks down towards us. Is she not the most perfect cat you've ever seen in your life? She's just fantastic, and I hope that she does successfully have some cubs sometime soon. Now, she was looking off towards Chitwa Waterhole, and I think that's because there are animals going down there to hunt. So we're going to go away for a short break now. Don't go anywhere. I think this cat's going to hunt. Right, hello everybody. In the advert break, if I could tell you what the trouble we've had up until this point, I promise you now you'll be sending me virtual apple juices. Well, let me tell you what happened when we got down to the Chitwa. We had the leopardess, and then she walked into Little Gowrie. Then we had to race down with no more than 20 seconds to the opening to Chitwa Dam, and then it was impossible to go live because there was no signal, and well, it's just been very traumatic. So apparently we're not going to sit with her well, we're going to stay with her. You're going to go off to Steve.
Hello everybody. Well, all of the members that are available have come out, and there's Plonk looking at us, sort of been messing around a little bit. He was inside the hole doing all sorts of digging, and the two youngest members of the clan have finally come out. And how cute are they? They're so nice and dark. They've been suckling for a little bit now, and I think they might start getting a little bit boisterous. There we go. There's the second one at the back. Welcome back live to Djuma in South Africa, where the Djuma clan and its newest members are starting to show themselves. How fantastic is it to be able to find the clan with new members that have probably never seen cars before? We're not 100% sure. We found them this morning, and well, here they are. They were busy suckling a moment ago on this big female who I am trying to identify, but it's very difficult. You can see the spot patterns on Plonk, who's that young member at the back who's just disappeared. And now this big female here, she's very pale. She doesn't have enormous amount of spot patterns on the side, but she's got the two youngsters that probably, most likely her. She's been grooming them. They've been suckling from her. I haven't actually seen them suckling, but she did have her bottom inside the hole, so most likely they were suckling, and they are in fact hers. And, well, we spent a lot of time with the Djuma clan, and the last time when the cubs first came out with Pretty, we had plenty of fun with them.
Corky's son was born to the safety of the clan's natal den. He quickly developed a cute and distinctive balding about the face. His first tentative explorations of the world were as exciting for us as they were for him. A few days after his birth, we arrived at the den to find Corky and another adult, Pretty. It turns out that she wasn't just visiting, but moving in, with her two children. Pretty's cubs, a male and a female, are older than Corky's son, but submissive to him because he has inherited his mother's rank. The matriarch's only cub has used his innate confidence to bully his larger playmates.
Welcome back from that little intro with the Djuma clan. They are such a special bunch of individuals. Well, that adult female has just gotten up and moved off Plonk. This is the matriarch's son here. Followed her for a short distance and now is getting a little bit scared of being 15-20 meters away from the den. The two little dark-colored ones scurried very quickly into the hole. Not as brave as Plonk, but he is now right by the hole. There we go. The safety of the den is what gives hyenas such success. Obani, you want to know how many cubs generally hyenas have, and generally for the most part it's two. Two is the average, and here we've got two. Plonk was a single individual that we know of. We don't really know what goes on in the den. There could have been a second cub that was born, and there is often terms and discussions and debates about the fact that the bigger of the two cubs quite often has the ability to kill the other one in the den without us even knowing about it. Those early stages before we even see them. Here we go. There's Plonk doing a little bit of digging. He's now going to go harass his younger cousins as he was doing before, and got a little bit of discipline from the adult just before. There he is. Well, in the Maasai Mara, there's no better place in the world to view cheetah, and Scott, not so long ago, was able to spend time with the coalition of cheetah who tackled prey larger than they used to.
We are in the Maasai Mara National Reserve, and it is wonderful to be sharing this incredible scene with you. You'll notice one of them has a collar. That's for the researchers to keep track of their movements, and these are 5 males that work together as a team. It's not uncommon for cheetah to form these coalitions. Listen carefully. I'm going to keep quiet, and it's worth listening now to what happens because their communication is very, very interesting. Chirping, twittering. Now with these guys, it's hard to keep track of who's who, unless, of course, it's the male with the collar. But I'd be very interested to know which individual led this charge, because I'm fairly certain the other 4 also saw this wildebeest, yet it was only one that showed the initiative to lead the charge and bring down this meal for the rest of his coalition. In the short time that we have been spending with these boys, Dartonian, who is the male with the collar, seems to have been the most dominant and lead most of the hunts. However, the behavior we're seeing now is quite different, and it seems like it's a bit of an even playing field.
Welcome back live, everybody. Now, you've been watching those cheetah hunt. They, of course, have a completely different strategy from Guchava the leopard. She's just come down the tree. She came trotting to this position here, and she's now frozen. There is something up ahead that's caught her attention. I've got absolutely no idea what it is. It could be a scrub hare, it could be a grey duiker, it could be a little steenbok, but you can see her attention is entirely focused in front of her. She is a stealth, stalking and ambush predator. And now she's looking in front to see if her next meal awaits. Now, while she sits there, let me just tell you, she did have her first litter in January 2018 and her second in July. All have not made it, and so she's just feeding herself. See how she picks her head up like that? That'll be invisible, I hope, to whatever it is that she's going after. Here she goes. Enrico, we do have to be very careful about how we approach animals here so that we don't affect how they hunt, for example. So that's why we're not using any artificial light. We've gone into infrared light, just like the Mara has. It's got dark now, so there's no spotlight on this animal, so no prey would be able to see her. If she goes into thick bush, I think she's seen... I don't know what she's seen. She's now marking territory again, so she's not hunting now. But what did she see? She made a little grumbling sound. Now, interestingly, what happened this morning is that Tingana, the Duke of Djuma, the dominant male, came into this area. I wonder if she hasn't picked him up. Look, she's running now. Yes. Look, it's another male. No, it's not. It isn't. It was a duiker. It was a little duiker that went running off. It looked like it was coming towards her, which would have made sense if it had been a male leopard, but it wasn't. It was a duiker. Let's carry on down here. So, Enrico, we wouldn't go crashing through the bush after her if she was hunting. We'd just wait and see if we heard it, for example. Now, Chitwa Waterhole is just down there. Our leopard is now marking territory. We're going to try and follow her through here. I had an almost East African experience at Chitwa Waterhole in May last year with Crocky the crocodile and a very unfortunate impala. Righty, everybody. Welcome to a special broadcast from the western fringes of the Greater Kruger National Park. We have a standoff here, an unusual standoff for this part of the world. We've got a crocodile and an impala. The impala is drying off on an island. It's swum across to that island. We don't know why. I'm going to guess most likely because wild dogs chased it there sometime before dawn broke this morning. So we're going to sit and see what plays out here for the next little while. See if the crocodile manages to grab the impala or whether the impala is going to escape. Now, it is unlikely that the impala will be able to outswim the crocodile, and it is unlikely that the crocodile would be able to grab the impala on land, which leaves an interesting kind of strategic move for both of them to make. If the crocodile were to come onto the land and chase the impala into the water, he would then be able to probably catch him before he got to the edge. If, however, the crocodile is going to persist in waiting in the water, he must hope for a memory failure in the impala or desperation from the impala, which may well happen. Eventually that impala is going to get desperate enough to leap into the water and make its way back towards the surface, at least towards the shore. Otherwise it's going to starve to death where it is. So poor old impala having a very rough day, and you'll see how that pans out a little bit later. Now, what you witnessed before the impala and crocodile interaction was an example of confirmation bias, where I was hoping to find Tingana, but in fact it was a duiker. She's now marking territory. It smells like popcorn all over this place, which is quite nice, but she is heading straight down towards the waterhole, so we're going to follow her there. Like I say, many things coming down for their Sunday evening drinks, so hopefully she'll hunt one of them. Hello everybody, back again. We've lost her now. We can smell popcorn all over the place. Can you see her, dog? Oh, we can smell her though. There is a duiker, which I suspect the leopard has seen. So I now need to be careful of not ruining the leopard's hunt. Where has she gone? She turned down this way. I've just got to be very careful in thick bush like this, everybody, not to create an issue. Okay, we'll try and find her. Let's go over to Trish now and find out what she's doing.
Yes, we are still with the lions, and the light is getting very, very low now, and we can only just manage to see them. I know it might be difficult on the camera right there, but even with our eyes, it's quite dark. Very cool, though, that they're all sitting around here and just lying about. Now, we are now in the using the thermal camera, the FLIR, as it is known. And you can see the different variations in temperature. Very cool. You can see that obviously they're mammals just like us, so they have all this energy inside of them that needs to get expended. And that's exactly how they're doing it. You can see them panting as well, getting rid of all the hot air within them, sucking in cold air to cool their blood down. I think that looks very, very cool in the FLIR. No, go for it.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. We are still using the thermal camera, the FLIR, so you can get a good idea of the amount of heat coming off these animals. Like I said before, this is near a watering hole, a little small kind of mud wallow, so they're going back and forth and grabbing drinks now and then. And you can also see them panting quite heavily. And they also had the kill earlier, so they've been panting heavily because all this protein needs to be digested. And that's why they're using all this energy in order to digest this protein that they've had this morning. And then, of course, the heat. The heat makes them really hot, so they need to expend all this warm air and take in the cold air to cool their blood. Now, if you have any questions regarding this, regarding our lions, our lovely Kuchava, anything, please use the hashtag safariLIVE and we will make sure that we get to them. I am quite happy with their behavior today. And I think that they're quite happy for the night and they're going to stay here for quite some time. But while we hang around here, let us learn a little bit more about Amber Eyes, who's one of the main females in this pride, and see exactly who she is in this pride dynamic.
Djuma's woodlands are the central hunting grounds of the formidable Nkuhumas. The core of the pride is 5 lionesses. 6 sub-adults reinforce their ranks. The most recognizable lioness is a stocky 5-year-old called Amber Eyes, so named for the burnt orange of her piercing gaze. This famous pride has survived tremendous upheaval in the last few years, including 2 male coalition takeovers, a drought, and disease. Amber Eyes has weathered all the storms. Yet, her story is tinged with sadness. Amber Eyes remains without surviving offspring. Last year, she gave birth to a single cub, but, as is the fate for so many young in the wild, the vulnerable little thing vanished soon after we met her. More recently, Amber Eyes carried another 2 cubs to term. This time, hyenas discovered the den. The arrival of the Avoca boys brought yet more disruption. For months, the lionesses protected the sub-adults from the new males. Now, things seem to have settled, and perhaps this beautiful amber-eyed lioness will finally see her lineage extended.
Oh, wasn't that nice to learn a little bit more about Amber Eyes? She is quite stunning and very easily recognizable. Now, I've decided to leave the lions because they're quite sleepy, and instead I've got my spotlight out and I'm going to be looking for eyes in the bush and go and find something a little more awake at this point. I'm just driving through. You can often see the eyes of most animals through the bushes because of their eye structure, especially cats. Cats are very easy to see through the bush, and they have a membrane in there called the tapetum lucidum, and then that reflects light. So that's why you see the eyes of cats like that. Well, while I keep on looking for something a little more alive than my inkahumas, let's go to James, who has the lovely kuchava.
I am looking with my spotlight. I'm afraid we've lost our leopard. We turned the lights off, or we didn't have any on, because we saw the duiker that she was hunting. She went behind a bush, and lo and behold, she just disappeared. The whole place, as I was saying, smells like popcorn, because that's what leopard territory smell, or territory marking, smells like. That's what their urine smells like. And I'm afraid I think she's gone down into this thicket here, which is of course very thick, and I'm not sure we'll see her again, but we will try our level best. Anyway, now it was a traumatic time that Tristan had, and we've got one more clip of that hippo story to play for you and just show you exactly how it all ended that evening.
This little one is trying valiantly to get towards the bank. This is heartbreaking. Shame. Like I say, as much as it may be very difficult to watch, this is nature and this is part and parcel. Oh, look, there's a massive fight that's breaking out between a whole bunch of them. Look, there's the big bull. He's come in to discipline this young male. You see the size of his teeth. Now, that's why that poor little baby is so badly damaged. But that big male has now come in and he's said, what is going on here? He's almost kind of gotten between the baby and that offending young male. And I was saying to you earlier that that male that was biting that baby was a small male, and I was surprised that he was being able to do this. But the bull was obviously too far away and just couldn't come to this baby's aid in time. Whether he will finish this baby off, I'm not sure, but look, he's posturing. That opening mouth that you're seeing, that's him showing everybody who is actually boss here. He really is trying to dominate now and to try and kind of keep everybody at bay. And you can see the guy, the young male that was causing the most drama, which are the ones that he's kind of facing towards. Well, they're backing off slightly from where he is, but the poor baby in the meantime has kind of crept its way all the way to the edge and is now really on its own. Oh, shame.
Okay, so that's what's playing out there. Apparently we are, in fact, going to show you a little bit more of that story. Harrowing as it is, very interesting though, as I said. And, well, the worst of it is over as far as the harrowing part of it goes. But we will still show you a little bit more a bit later. Very difficult to understand, and like I say, it is for me the great contradiction of the wilderness. Utterly peaceful and sort of instilling a sense of love for the earth, and then at other times completely savage and makes you quite glad to live in the city, I suppose, perhaps. Right, we've had absolutely no luck finding our leopard, so we're going to keep trying, and I believe that Stevovo is now playing out of his boots.
Hello everybody, the Juma clan just disappeared under the ground. The little cubs did. We've just had this male leopard materialize on the scene. I don't know who he is. I'm not sure. I didn't get a good look at him. Definitely a male as he turned around. He had some genitals, which is the telltale sign of a male, but quite a big cat. I think he might pop out here on the fire break. Where's he gone? Just using the spotlights to try and find him. And then we'll turn to the infrared so as not to disturb, but he's going through there. I think the cubs knew he was coming. Okay, he's just off on the left here. Not sure who it is. I think it might have been Tingana. There he is. Just off on the left here. There is a male leopard. You can't see it. He's just disappeared behind the bushes. Okay, well, it's a little bit thick here, but I'm going to try and stick my nose in here, see if we can get a look. Hello, Abby. You want to know if Tingana and Hukumuri have ever fought? Well, this morning we had some interaction, we believe, between them. The only reason I can tell you that is because of the way that they both move. There he is. There's a leopard right there. He's going to come out into the open in front of us. The tracks indicated that there was some action. He's about to walk in front of that light there. Come on, don't disappoint me. There we go. Now, I'm not 100% sure who this is. It didn't seem like Tingana a moment there, and it's not Hukumuri. Folks, I don't know. You know, there are still leopards moving through the reserve. They could be anybody. Hukumuri and Tingana definitely had some altercation last night. The tracks were evident of that. But whether they actually got in touch with each other is hard to say. Okay, well, here he is, just off on the left. I think he might be hunting. I just saw a scrub hare in my lights a moment ago. Yes, he's definitely hunting. He's looking for that scrub hare. There's a little bit of a depression here. We're going completely lights down, not to influence, just using the infrared. I'm going to just go down into this little gully here. Who knows what could happen, folks? There's a male leopard on the prowl, just here on my right-hand side. Just going up the side of the bank there, BK. He's definitely on the stalk for a scrub hare. Let's see. There he's going. Slowly moving through the thickets. He could be on the search. I think he might catch a scrub hare. You're going to have to come back and see if he's had any luck. Hello everybody, we have found a male leopard here. I don't know who he is. He looked at a scrub hare and decided, well, maybe the scrub hare disappeared on him. I really had a good look at his face and it didn't look like Tingana. Very hard to say. Very hard to say. There he is. It's on the left there, BK. Not if there's action. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, well, it does actually look like it might be Tingana, the Duke of Juma. He was looking at a scrub hare, and it seems as if the scrub hare has eluded him. They are very, very quick. You know, Tingana can't go without being in a TV show, and he has materialized for us once again. Let's see if we can keep up with him here, BK. It's just over here. There we go. He's in front of us in the road. Just in the road ahead of us here, BK. As he's walking along there, he's doing some scent marking. He's telling Hukumori this is his spot. Well, up in the Maasai Mara, those musketeer boys really did put on a show.
But to tell you a little bit more about how coalitions work is that they don't all have to be born to the same mother. So these are not necessarily 5 brothers, and I know for a fact they're actually not 5 brothers because there are some that are slightly bigger and older than the 3 slightly smaller ones. This is one of the bigger ones, Dartonian, and as long as cheetah, before they're around 2 or 2.5 years old as males, as long as they're before that age, if they bump into other cheetah, other males, they'll have an initial altercation, but then they can kind of make friends and join these coalitions. But as long as it happens when they're young enough, once they're past, I'm told, 2 to 2.5 years, then the likelihood of them being accepted into a coalition of possibly 2 brothers is a lot less likely. So what we can definitely guarantee you is that all of these cheetahs are above 3 years of age and probably ranging from 5 to 10. It is fascinating how some of them are kind of waiting for permission to feed on this carcass, which is something we haven't seen with these guys yet. And this won't be the only time they fight with one another. If you put a female cheetah who's in season amongst these boys, I think we would have a much bigger commotion than what we're experiencing now. Look at this. I'm just going to keep quiet for a second so we can enjoy the sounds. I'm sure a lot of you are absolutely fascinated by the sounds you're hearing coming out of these cheetah. This is by far the most vocal I've ever heard cheetah in my whole career guiding.
Welcome back live, everybody. No luck with our leopard, I'm afraid, and just a few minutes left of our show. Let's just go and take a final look at that baby hippo, and then I will tell you what happened in the final end.
I'm sorry, little one. Oh, this is traumatic, to say the least, but I just hope that whatever happens now is that this poor little one gets put out of its misery rather quickly. So we're just going to come up to here and just see what's happening with it. It's trying to struggle its way up the bank and trying to kind of, I think, get out of the water where there seems to be a lot of fish that are following it. The crocs are lying in wait, and both of these crocodiles are seriously big enough to go after a little baby hippo of this size if it's left on its own. In fact, look, here come the crocs slowly drifting towards this baby. If this crocodile can just pick it up and pull it under and take it away, you know, that will be the quickest end.
So we don't actually know what happened to that hippo. We never saw it again, and I'm presuming that it was probably dragged down under the water sometime during the night, probably by crocodiles, and that was its final resting place, I'm afraid. So very sad, but it does happen out here, and like I say, infanticide, extremely common amongst many mammals. Now, what I just want to quickly try and show you, we've lost our leopard, obviously, which is incompetence on my part. But what we're going to try and do is show you Crocky the croc once more, and then let you have a look at how his Impala standoff played out. Like I say, we are at Cheetah, so if you see any of the lights, that is the lodge, and I'm going to just shine a little bit because Crocky won't mind, he's a reptile. There he is. Hello, Crocky. Now, he is sitting on the very island on which he had his standoff, and let's go and have a look what played out. There he's coming out. Look at that. Crocky the Croc's on his way out. I think that impala is also limping slightly. This is fascinating. Now the impala might make a run for it. Oh, it's going to be in trouble now. Oh, this is unbelievable stuff. Here comes a hippo in too. Go, impala. There's a hippo coming in. I can't believe what we're seeing here. This is what we'd normally see in East Africa. It's all over. Hippo leaping at the crocodile now. Everything's gone underwater. This is not what we see here at all. It's what we're used to seeing in the Maasai Mara during the migration season. Right now, it's happening up in East Africa, not here in Southern Africa. It's precisely what we expected to happen if the impala took a leap. There, what's going on there? I think they've grabbed the crocodile. Hippopotamus going crazy there. I just saw some scales coming up. Let's watch carefully. I've got no idea where the crocodile is. I've got no idea where the impala is. Well, I know the impala's under the water and hopefully now in impala heaven. Let's just watch this very carefully here. Now, we do know that hippo do not like crocodiles. There are many, many records of hippo chasing crocodile off their prey and then sometimes killing that prey. And so you can see old Crocky there is extremely satisfied with his day's work. Now, interestingly, a few days later, we happened to come down here just to do some birding, and, you know, the same thing happened. We watched a hippo, not a hippo, a wild dog chasing an impala into the water. The impala didn't get anywhere near one of these islands. It was taken down under the water almost immediately. It tried to swim away from the wild dog, so that was absolutely fascinating. Anyway, there is Crocky, and they do look very satisfied because, of course, they are satisfied most of the time. They use so little energy and they store fat so well in that big scaly tail that they hardly have to eat at all. Some of them go for up to a year without eating. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for the penultimate episode. We will be on the last episode next week, same time, same place on SABC3. Thank you very much for your questions and your comments. As always, they're hugely welcomed. You're the most important part of any live safari.